the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Ford, the newest vehicles on the road are now at your local Ford store, like the all-new Ford Explorer, SUV, 100% reinvented. Visit localfordstores.com. Ford, drive one. And by the Illinois Lottery. How does $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life sound? Then play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. The longer you live, the more you get. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Well, we're going to get started about 2.5 hours late. We had a ton of fog this morning, some nasty thunderstorms, some more fog, but the wind has really kicked up and has knocked the rain and the wind out of here. And we will get this thing going here in a couple of minutes.
Before we get started, we want to let our AT&T U-verse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high def channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all of our different live camera angles here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T U-verse channel 780 or high def channel 1780.
Grounds crew did a wonderful job getting all the water out of here. Well, there were standing puddles all over the warning track. Starting pitchers today, Ryan Dempster, who faced the Pirates on opening day and suffered the loss, has had a much better month of May than he did in April, and the Cubs giving him a lot of run support as well.
And really, Ryan's recent success has gone hand in hand with his ability to locate that fastball. You may remember in the first month of the season, a lot of very favorable hitters counts, a lot of walks, a lot of base runners, but over his last 4 or 5 starts, Ryan has been able to get that sinker back down to the bottom of the strike zone, and he's been much more effective and really cut down on his base on balls.
For the Pittsburgh Pirates, it'll be right-hander Jeff Karstens, 28 years old, and his last outing was actually in relief and has always pitched well here at Wrigley Field.
Go you left-handed hitters. Lefties hitting about 100 points higher against Jeff Karstens than the right-handers. Lefties hitting at a 324 clip. Righties hitting only 225 against the Pirates right-hander.
Pirates have outscored the Cubs 14-2 in the first 2 games of this series. A tight one on Friday, 4-2, and then 10-0 yesterday. The umpiring crew, Lance Barksdale will call the balls and strikes. Corey Blazers at first, Fielding Culbreth at second, and the crew chief Gary Cedarstrom is at third. While we have a chance, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Cloudy skies, but a lot brighter than it was several hours ago. And the Pirates have really turned the tables on the Cubs over the last 22 games. Pittsburgh has won 16 times, including 4 of 5 to start this season series. They're basically averaging twice as many runs per game. You see the Cubs hitting just .223 against the Pirates, and the Cubs have had all kinds of trouble keeping Andrew McCutchen contained.
Well, a couple of hours ago we touched on it, but Andrew McCutchen is one of those players that kind of flies under the radar. If you are outside of Western Pennsylvania, not too many people know who Andrew McCutchen is, but he's making a name for himself in this game. He can hit for average, hits for power, can steal bases, plays a very good defensive center field. If he were in New York or LA or Chicago, this guy would be a bona fide superstar.
Cubs will be taking the field here momentarily. And we will be in the Bud Light bleachers tomorrow afternoon as the Houston Astros come in on Memorial Day. We expect no rain, sunshine, and lots of hot temperatures. And we'll hit the air at 1 o'clock Central Time. And we'll have our WGN caps on, and we'll be dressed appropriately. Let's put it that way.
I don't know what appropriate is for this spring here in Chicago. We were told the temperatures were going to be very mild this afternoon, possibly in the high 70s, low 80s, and we may still get to that as the day moves forward, but certainly it has been a rough morning and early afternoon here at Wrigley Field.
And the new Bud Light Bleacher Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna Beef Hot Dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Let's look in on Clint Hurdle's Pirates lineup. They're playing much better on the road this season than last year. In fact, they come in 15-12 on the road. Tabata, Jones, McCutchen at the top. Walker, Overbay, Ryan Doman with his first action in this series. Brandon Wood gets the start at third. Steve Pearce had to leave early yesterday with an injury. More on that in a second. Former Cub Ronnie Cedeno with a home run in Game 2, and Jeff Karstens, the pitcher, hits 9.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Ryan Dempster, brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. It'll be Soriano, Campana, and Fukudome across the outfield, left to right. Ramirez, Castro, Barney, Pena across the infield, third to first. Coy Hill doing the catching once again today for right-hander Ryan Dempster. Mentioned Ryan's last time out against the New York Mets. Very solid outing, 7 innings, gave up only 7 hits and 1 earned run, walked 1 batter, struck out 5, and his offense really busted out for him in that ball game, scoring 11 runs, an 11-1 Cubs victory over the Mets in that game.
Recently turned 34, and this will be his final start in May. It's been a much better month than April was. Still trying to work on that ERA, a major league high, 6.29.
I'll tell you, Len, this kind of day is tough on everybody. Tough on the fans to sit around and wait and see if we're going to get the ball game in. Tough on the broadcasters waiting to get on the air. Tough on the position players, but especially tough on the starting pitchers. Guys are very much creatures of routine. They eat the same food. They go through the same routine at the same time in preparation for a start. And obviously that was not the case today. To roll with the punches.
1 ball, 1 strike to Jose Tabata. The official delay, 2 hours, 34 minutes. This will be Starlin Castro, and he gets Tabata, and a rollover bouncer for the first out. Cubs have already had 3 postponements this season. They did not want this to be the 4th. 64 degrees and a stiff east wind at 15 miles an hour coming straight in off the lake.
A few hours ago, we wouldn't have been able to tell you which direction the wind was blowing because you couldn't see the scoreboard.
Harvey, Illinois native Garrett Jones looks at a strike. We are working to rectify our pitch speed graphic. That ball is lined foul and out of play. 94 on the fastball from Ryan Dempster. He's had some trouble against the Pirates. He's dropped his last 4 consecutive starts versus Pittsburgh. Way high, 1-2. Coy Hill is in there today. Giovanni Soto is back from the disabled list. And is available off the bench. Hit hard, but right at Carlos Pena as Garrett Jones lines out. 2 away.
Sound like Demps might have gotten in just a little bit on Jones down near the trademark. Hit it on the line, but didn't hit it particularly hard. Right to Carlos Pena at first base. Good positioning.
There's Giovanni Soto. Battled a groin strain. Suffered the injury back in mid-May. Actually, May 10th. So 19 days later, he is back. And Brad Snyder selected from AAA Iowa as Reed Johnson goes to the DL. And I think what that means for the short-term future, at least, is that Tony Campana can expect some more playing time, because the top 2 center fielders on the depth chart are on the DL, Marlon Byrd and Reed Johnson. Big swing by McCutchen, in on his hands and fouled off. 1-2. 4th consecutive start for Tony Campana.
That hat not quite straight. He's trying to get that bill straightened out as best he can. Even somebody who's been swinging the bat as well as Andrew McCutchen has trouble catching up with 94 up there above the letters.
Ready for a 2-2 pitch. Slider is low as Dempster appeared to slip just a little bit on his landing. And a full count, 3-2 with his nemesis Neil Walker on deck. Walker 5 for 8 against Dempster, including a game-winning grand slam here on opening day. Much rather face Walker leading off an inning than with runners on base.
We saw Dempster slip on the mound on the pitch before. I don't think it was due to the conditions here this morning at Wrigley. The field has been covered. The mound has been double covered. The infield appears to be in pretty good shape. There may be some real soft, wet spots in the outfield along the warning track and in foul territory, but the infield, the mound, the batter's box appear to be in pretty good shape.
There is ball 4. So you're saying the pitcher's mound was like Randy Moss in his prime, double covered.
Double covered,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Here is Neil Walker. Switch hitting second baseman. Ball 1 outside. And Dempster behind Walker. 2-0. We're excited to finally get this thing underway. Sitting through the rain and the fog through most of the day. Thanks to Wally Hayward, Cubs Executive Vice President, for joining us during our rain delay coverage. 3-0. And on a side note, Bob, I'm also glad we finally started so I would stop eating. Too much sitting around.
Cookies were just calling you.
Yeah, Robert Chamberlain and Andy Akins, Sean, everybody in the press box. Lunchroom. Had the food out for several hours. They made too many trips. It's back-to-back 2-out walks, and it'll bring up Lyle Overbay. who hit one of the Pirates' season-high 4 home runs yesterday.
And if Neil Walker ever wins the Most Valuable Player award while playing for the Pirates, he'll have an idea of what it feels like to be Derrick Rose. Hometown kid, went to high school in Pittsburgh, was athlete of the year a couple of times, and now playing for his hometown team in the big leagues.
He's gotten his career off to a very good start. The pitch to Overbay. The slider is off the outside corner. The Pirates have been a very patient bunch this weekend, particularly on Friday when they took 6 walks against Doug Davis. They had one big inning yesterday against Randy Wells, a 5-run fourth, as Wells was a little bit rusty coming off the disabled list.
Well, then we kind of downplayed that slip on the mound by Ryan Dempster, but since that slip, he's really had problems finding the strike zone. Hope he didn't tweak anything out there on the mound.
He has put Overbay in a pretty comfortable spot. 2-0 with 2 guys on. Here it is. And that's going to find the right field corner. The Pirates will get at least one as McCutchen will score. Nick Leiva's going to send Walker, and he will score. So the walks come back to bite Ryan Dempster. Lyle Overbay, a professional hitter, on a 2-0 pitch, hits a 2-run double.
Well, we've talked about Overbay and to a lesser extent Matt Diaz through the first 2 games of this series, really bringing, as you said, that professional at bat to what was a very aggressive, free swinging Pirates offense last year. Overbay gets that favorable hitter's count, jerks that fastball down into the right field corner to put the Buccos on the board first.
And the Pirates were scuffling offensively before this series. They had lost 3 in a row and were shut out twice. They'd scored 2 runs in their previous 3 games. They have 16 so far in this series. And a lot of their rallies have been set up by walks. Brian Domet seeing his first action. Chris Snyder got the first 2 starts in this series, and Dempster's behind him 2-0. Domet just 4 for 22 versus Dempster in his career. That was right down the middle, but a splitter. And Domet was way out in front.
Splitter at 81 miles an hour. But to Ryan Domet, that looked like a fastball leaving the hand of Ryan Dempster. And at 2-0 count, you figure to get a fastball, you see what you think is a fastball delivery, you jump at the pitch, and then it floats up there about 10 miles per hour slower than a fastball.
Sharply hit, fielded by Darwin Barney, and he gets the out at first to finally end the inning. A 2-out rally, and the Pirates get a couple. The Cubs are coming up. game against the Pirates. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. They haven't gotten a whole lot going in this series. Just a 2-run homer from Alfonso Soriano in Game 1. We mentioned Coy Hill is in there. Look at his numbers against Jeff Karstens.
Quick look at the Pirates defensively. Tabata, McCutchen, and Jones across the outfield, left to right. Wood, Cedeno, Walker, and Overbay across the infield, third to first. Ryan Doumit getting his first action behind the plate in this series. He's had issues throwing out runners in the past, 4 out of 20 this season. And the man on the mound, Jeff Karstens, the right-hander, has given up 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts. Cubs don't run a lot, but today might be the day to be a little more adventurous on the bases.
He was drafted by Montreal as a catcher out of high school in 2000. Eventually went to college instead. That ball hit well, but Tabata will retire Fukudome. One away here in the Cubs first, and that'll bring up Darwin Barney. We have seen some bizarre weather, to say the least, this spring, but have you seen it more bizarre than today? We had 2 different stretches of time lasting maybe 15-20 minutes each, during which we would not have been able to play through the fog. I mean, about 9:45 this morning, it was as thick as pea soup. And then after they took the tarp off the field, we had a few minutes where you couldn't see the scoreboard. And then within about 30 seconds, the wind kicked up, the fog was gone.
Now, the earlier fog that you spoke of this morning, not only could you not see the scoreboard, I don't believe a hitter standing in the batter's box could see the pitcher. That's how thick it was.
Karstens with an 0-2 off the end of the bat. Nice piece of hitting by Darwin Barney. It was not a bad pitch by Karstens. It appeared to be off the plate on a slider, and Barney poked it into right center.
And of course, beside the fog and the wind and the cold, boy, did the rain come down at times in buckets.
Now, if I had told you that was 9:30 at night, I mean, you'd say, yeah, that's what it looks like.
A rain delay in a night game.
And that's how it looks right now at a little after 4 o'clock. Starlin Castro takes a strike. Cubs bats were hot, but they have cooled off a lot to start this series. And an 8-game stretch during which they averaged 6.5 runs per game and hit .299 as a team. But in this series, coming in just 129, 8 for 62. And they were handcuffed yesterday by left-hander Paul Mahalem, who was marvelous, 91 pitches and worked a 3-hit shutout. Darwin Barney going with the real old school stirrups today. He's going for the optical illusion. Makes you look slower. That could be 2. Wood, Walker. Nice play by Walker. He accepted the low throw by Wood and able to get it to Overbay in time. 2-0 Pirates after 1. manager Ed Polito at the ballpark yesterday, being honored as part of Budweiser's Here's to the Heroes program. For every home run hit during the 2011 MLB season, Budweiser will donate $100 to the Folds of Honor Foundation, which provides post-secondary educational scholarships for family of U.S. military personnel killed or disabled while serving their country. Major Polito is the vice president of that foundation. Got a really nice, well-deserved hand here at the ballpark. Second inning now. It's Brandon Wood, the former Angel, who was acquired on waivers by the Pirates on April 22nd. Former first-round pick. He was supposed to be in an Angels uniform for a long time. He could just never get it together at the plate at this level. Hit 168 over 173 career games over parts of 5 seasons. Bob, he's always hit in the minors, but just has yet to do it at this level. And with the Pirates, he's hitting under 200.
And that being said, I think it was a good gamble by the Pirates, a team that obviously can't go out and spend a lot of money on free agents. This guy obviously has some talent in there somewhere. Maybe just a change of scenery, different vocabulary from your coaching staff, different opportunity. But Wood goes down on strikes this time against Ryan Dempster.
Ronnie Cedeno, we noted yesterday, trying to get almost directly behind the catcher, way out of the on-deck circle. Steve Pearce had to leave early yesterday with a sore right calf. So Wood is in there today. Not sure if we'll see Pearce later or not, as Cedeno will fly out to Campana in right center. You can email us at LennonBob@Tribune.com. Go to our Facebook page, Twitter as well, and you can help pick out our fan cam song for tomorrow when we're in the Bud Light bleachers on Memorial Day. Now the pitcher Karstens with 2 outs. I think the Pirates would rather not use Pearce today if they can get away with it. Jeff Baker still coming back from the groin injury. Should be available. He's given Mike Quaddy a couple of pinch hit at bats here recently. Oh, 0-2 on Karstens as Dempster tries to get settled in. And he got him on strikes. That's 4 in a row since the double by Overbay. 2-0 Pirates early. Want to manage the game along with Mike Quaddy? Log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while watching at home. Game Zone sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Aramis Ramirez, deep left, gone! His first homer since April 6th, and the Cubs are on the board. Just started to rain again, and he hit a rocket into the bleachers and left.
Well, no sense in waiting any longer. Let's take a look at our BMW Ultimate Drive. Aramis Ramirez picking on a first pitch fastball inside part of the plate. Hit a low line drive into the bleachers in left field, his second home run of the season. Brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Career homer 291. And here's Carlos Pena, who takes ball one. Cubs need more of that from their cleanup hitter. Second homer, 18th RBI. 2-0 now to Pena. Drilled to right. Jones playing pretty deep out there, and that's a base hit. Comes Alfonso Soriano, hit a 2-run homer late on Friday. Ball missed inside. Alfonso with a 9-game hitting streak. If he can get a hit today, it would be a 17th career hitting streak of at least 10 games. Big swing out in front a little bit, fouled it back to the netting. 1-1.
Mentioned earlier, Carson's a 4-pitch guy, fast curve, slider, changeup, depending on what's working on a given day. And right now, his command is sorely lacking. He's missed his spot all the way from one side of the plate to the other. The home run to Ramirez was supposed to be a fastball low and away, straight over the inner third of the plate. Try to take advantage of his struggles with his command.
Just as I complained about eating too much, we want to thank Cubs Media Relations Chief Peter Chase for bringing in some pizza for all the media who've been here since early this morning. Now I'm sick to my stomach. Pizza was really good. Will you please stop me before I do any more damage?
Pizza's a lot like Jell-O. There's always room for pizza. You need it as an appetizer, as a main course, or in the case today, as dessert.
I can never say no to pizza. And I know you can't.
No.
The 3-1 pitch. A high fly to deep right. Garrett Jones goes back to the warning track. Now comes in a couple of steps. Pena had gotten almost all the way to second, but able to get back to first in time. Pena saw what I saw. Garrett Jones kind of acted like that ball might be a home run off the bat, but you see it was off the end of the bat.
Ball is carrying pretty good right now. That wind that we talked about when the game started has died down and turned around. If anything, it looks like the flags may be blowing out to center field just a little bit. Garrett Jones streaked back to that warning track and then had to come back in a couple of steps to make the play.
Well, the wind has blown in every direction today. Officially an east wind when we started, but that is not the case right now. It's almost a south wind. Here's Campana in the lineup for the 4th consecutive day.
We haven't seen a lot of Tony Campana here at the major league level, but one thing I think we can count on at some point today, he will try to bunt for a base hit. He'll definitely show bunt from time to time just to draw that third baseman in a little bit further, to plant the seed in the first baseman's mind and the pitcher's mind that he may try to bunt for a base hit. That's a big part of his arsenal.
That popped out of Domit's mitt, but it went out toward the pitcher's mound, which prevented Pena from thinking about second base.
So look at the bat of Tony Campana. When he shows bunt there, he screens the vision of Ryan Domit. That's why Domit was not able to catch that ball cleanly. It hit right in the middle of his mitt, but ever so slightly he lost sight of the baseball as it came up there to home plate because of the angle that Tony Campana had on his bat in the strike zone.
Karstens was born in San Diego. He went to Grossmont Junior College and then Texas Tech. Eventually signed with the Yankees out of the 19th round in 2003. Pirates got him from the Yanks in July of 08 as Pena takes off. Campana hits a ground ball. Cedeno's going to throw quickly. Not in time. Gets past Overbay. Pena will take third. That'll be an infield hit for Campana. And a throwing error on Ronnie Cedeno, allowing the tying run to get to third with only one out. And for Cedeno, that's his first error in his last 36 games.
That's what speed will do to a defense. Ronnie Cedeno was breaking to cover second base. He got back to the ball, but realized he had to rush his throw across the diamond to have any chance at Tony Campana. And when he rushes his throw, he puts it in the dirt. Lyle Overbay can't handle it. Pena able to advance all the way around to third base with one out in the inning.
Here's Coy Hill.
You know, Len, I'm sure Bobby Dernier, the Cubs first base coach, is always excited to see his players down there at first base, but probably a little more so with Tony Campana, because this is a guy that can steal a base.
Low and outside to Hill.
I mean, Bobby Dernier's down there with a stopwatch, timing every pitcher's delivery to home plate and relaying those times to the runner at first base, and most of the time it goes in one ear and out the other because the guy's not going to attempt to steal second base anyway.
Hill 6 for 11 with a home run against Karstens. Swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 1-1. Well, the guy with probably the best numbers on the Cubs roster against Karstens is Blake DeWitt, 6 for 9 with 2 doubles. Mike Quade thought long and hard about getting him into the lineup, but there are a lot of other guys with solid numbers against Karstens. So DeWitt starts on the bench today. Outside by just a tad, 2-1.
We're going to need sunglasses by the time this day is over. It's getting lighter. Skies are really clearing up. Temperature's starting to climb up there a little bit. So hot here.
It definitely has warmed up. We had the heaters going here a couple of hours ago. I think the shift of the wind has made a difference. I'm telling you, we're going to go from Manitoba to South Beach from today to tomorrow. Two and one to Hill, first and third, a run in on the Ramirez home run. Campana not running, and there's a fly ball. Jones coming over toward the gap. Here comes Pena toward the plate. Going to be a play there. Safe. He just got in. A sac fly for Coy Hill, and it's 2-2. Domet a little gimpy after Pena came sliding in.
Coy Hill got just enough of that ball to get it out to Garrett Jones in right field, who was moving a little bit to his right. Took just an extra split second to gather himself. By the time he gets off his throw to home plate, Carlos Pena is able to get in underneath the Ryan Domet tag, and the Cubs tie it up.
All right, as a former catcher, Domet very exposed there with that left ankle that seemed to get twisted a little bit as Pena slid in.
Just have to hold your ground as best you can as a catcher. You know, ideally you get a throw in a position where you can receive and protect yourself, go down closer to the ground, lower your center of gravity, but you can see Domet just had that left leg out there in the baseline trying to stop a freight train in Carlos Pena, who blew right through the left leg to get on the plate and score the run.
It's been a week of home plate collisions.
Well, you might go half a season without having a play at the plate, and it seems like every game this past couple days there's been a play or two at the plate. I think he's going to have to come out of the game. Domet's a tough guy, and for him to take this long to regroup, you know there's something wrong.
So Domet will exit. Chris Snyder will have to put the gear on.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by Mega Millions and now Powerball from the Illinois Lottery. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $12 million, while Wednesday's Powerball jackpot, nice round number, $200 million.
So Carlos Pena scoring that tying run on a sacrifice fly by Coy Hill. Never fun when your starting catcher leaves the game this early, especially when you only have two catchers on your roster.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the game for Pittsburgh Pirates, catch number 19, Chris Snyder.
While Overbay is going to play catch with Chris Snyder to help warm him up. No sense for Jeff Karstens to waste bullets getting the catcher's arm loose. Snyder says he's ready to go, as should Tony Campana at first base. You got a backup catcher coming into the game cold off the bench. Other than the few warm-up tosses he took right there, he probably hasn't thrown since very early this morning. It's tested. Even with the pitcher at the plate, I think you got to really force the issue against the Pirates and Jeff Karstens today.
Not going, but he will now.
How's that change working out? One pitch, pass ball. Maybe a little more movement there from Karstens than Snyder was expecting. You see him set up on the outside corner. Once again, Karsten misses his spot all the way across the plate, and Snyder just can't get to that ball quickly enough. Now drive him in.
Kick and the 1-0 pitch to Dempster, a swing and a miss. 1-1. One and two. Ramirez led off the inning on the first pitch with a line drive home run to left. Coy Hill with a sac fly later. And he got him on strikes to end the inning. It's 2-2 after 2.
Shots of the game.
All of the telephone lines are down. Well, it's flooding down in Texas. All of the telephone lines are down.
Well, the rain not conducive to baseball, but it certainly gave our camera guys a lot of great shots early this morning and this afternoon. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Xfinity only from Comcast.
Cubs have tied it up with a couple in the second. Helped out by an error from Ronnie Cedeno. So one of those runs was unearned. Tabata grounded out his first time. He came in hot. Hitting .370 with 5 walks on top of it over his last 7 games. 2-0. A pitch, a strike, 2-1. It's never too early to think about some other holidays.
Oh, I update my list every day.
Who's been naughty and who's been nice?
Oh, what I want from Santa.
Oh, I got you.
Unfortunately,
okay.
I'm usually on the naughty list, so he just completely disregards my requests.
Tabata bounces to Darwin Barney. Hey, it's a deal that flew under the radar at the time, but back in July of '08, Ross Ollendorf, Daniel McCutchen, Jose Tabata, Jeff Karstens were sent from the Yankees to the Pirates for Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte. Say it's worked out pretty well for the Pirates. Now Ollendorf is on the DL. Karstens on the mound today. Daniel McCutchen has been excellent in relief. And Jose Tabata has grabbed that everyday job out and left.
And those are the kind of deals the Pirates are always looking for, to trade a veteran who maybe is making a substantial salary and try to get younger and cheaper. Raid the minor league system of another team who needs an immediate bat or an immediate arm at the major league level. And at least for that deal, you'd have to say it really worked out well for the Pirates.
Neil Huntington made that deal back in '08. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Good splitter from Ryan Dempster as he fans Garrett Jones.
After he lost command of the strike zone back in that first inning, walking McCutchen and Walker back to back, he's really gone to his secondary pitches. A lot of splitters, a lot of sliders, using his sinker sparingly.
Don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I have a post on the news of the day with the roster situation. We have game notes from Stats, some photos from earlier on this crazy weather day at the ballpark. Again, WGNTV.com. One and two. Got the slider over. As we started late, a lot of games have already gone final. Mets salvage a finale of their 3-game series against the Phillies, 9-5, as Jose Reyes went 4 for 5 to snap the Phillies' 4-game win streak. Jorge Cantu across the plate with the go-ahead run for the Padres late, making a winner out of Luke Gregerson. 5-4 Padres over the Nationals in a battle of last place teams. McCutchen out into left center field. Campana gets over quickly to cut it off, and that'll keep McCutchen to a single. And with 5 runs today, let's see here, the Padres snapping an 11-game streak in which they scored 3 or fewer runs. That's a pretty big outburst for them. Cubs' next opponent, the Astros, just got swept 4-2 Arizona. Big 2-run double by Xavier Nady. And the Diamondbacks have won 6 in a row, and they have jumped past the Giants for first in the National League West. The Giants were shut out in Milwaukee 6-0. So the Brewers take 2 of 3. Giovanni Gallardo with 8 scoreless. 3 hits for Ryan Braun. Brewers are now 21-7 at home.
Talk about that Padres win. That puts them 2 games over 500 on the road. They're 9-20 at Petco Park in San Diego.
One and nothing on Walker, who walked and scored in the first. Well, I told you before opening day that almost 2 months into the season, Arizona and Cleveland would be leading their respective divisions. Would you have believed me?
Well, you could have made a lot of money betting that.
Another throw to first. Cardinals leading late. They're in the 9th at Colorado 4-2. John Jay and Colby Rasmus with home runs in that one. How about last night? Jaime Garcia took his first loss of the year. Runner goes, Walker taps. It'll be charged by Barney, and he gets him. Nice play, Darwin Barney. 2-2 as we go to the last of the third. Four to 2, but a tie game on the big board. Don't worry, Cubs have more outs than the Pirates left.
There's no crying in baseball.
No crying in baseball. Oh, 1 to Kosuke, swing and a miss. To finish the story. Okay, all is well.
Yeah, everything's okay now.
Jaime Garcia was 5-0 going into his start last night in Colorado. He could not get out of the 4th. He gave up 12 runs, 11 earned. His ERA went from 193 to 328. That's a rough day. Juan Nicasio got the win for the Rockies in his major league debut. Tapper foul. Count holding.
I mean, how about the run of long and extra inning games that the Reds have had recently? Boy, if you're a relief pitcher for the Reds and show up to the ballpark, you might throw 5 or 6 innings on a given day. Yeah, that's some hotly contested extra inning games.
Reds and Braves later tonight. A couple of night games, in fact. The Red Sox and Tigers were rained out yesterday. Boston winning the opener of that split doubleheader 4-3. A pinch hit home run by David Ortiz in the ninth. And that was the difference. Still 3-2. Right field corner for Fukudome. That should be extra bases. He motors to second with a leadoff double.
What a good battling at bat for Kosuke Fukudome. 9 pitches and ultimately gets a breaking ball that hangs over the inner part of the plate. Rolls that top hand over, hooks the ball down into that right field corner for a leadoff double. And then we've talked a lot about Darwin Barney and how he goes to the plate every at bat with a game plan. Well, pretty easy to figure out his game plan right here. He's going to try to move that ball to the right side of the field. Either a push bunt or a ground ball to the right side, deep fly ball to right field, anything to advance Kosuke on to third base.
So Daniel sneaking in behind Kosuke to try to keep him close. As Barney takes a strike. Singled on an 0-2 pitch in his first at bat.
They should play right into his strength. Most of his hits have come to center and right field.
There's the bunt, and it goes toward first. Karstens will tag him. It's a sacrifice with Kosuke. The go-ahead run now at third. Cub fans, you can enjoy your own Ferris Bueller's Day Off thanks to Pepsi. To celebrate the 25th anniversary of the movie, fans can go to Jewel Osco and purchase a pair of 2-liter Pepsi bottles with a preferred card to be automatically entered in the contest. The winner will hop in a limo and enjoy a recreation of Ferris's Day Off in Chicago, complete with a stop here at Wrigley Field and the chance to throw out a first pitch. Brought to you by Pepsi, Hollywood Boulevard Theater, and Jewel Osco. Starlin Castro to deep right. Garrett Jones will reach up and haul it in. It's a sacrifice fly, the second for the Cubs today, and they now lead 3-2.
Starlin Castro will be credited with the RBI, the line drive sac fly to right field, but Darwin Barney ought to get a half an RBI for moving Kosuke Fukudome from second to third, setting the table for Castro to drive home that run with a fly ball out.
Ramirez swings at the first pitch. Wood moving to his left, and that's the inning. But the Cubs have their first lead of the series, 3-2. setting the table with a leadoff double. And he would later come around to score the go-ahead run. While Overbay knocked in 2 with a double in the first inning. And a foul strike on the veteran first baseman. Ryan Dempster just 6-11 lifetime against the Pirates. For whatever reason, they have had his number. Dempster trying to even his mark this season at 4-4. Drops in a strike. It's 2-2. There's Chris Snyder on deck, in for Ryan Domit, who appeared to injure his ankle on a play at the plate in the bottom of the second. Speaking of catchers and collisions, every day some new information on Buster Posey's injury. The Giants athletic trainer Dave Greshner, who at one time was in the Cubs organization, said today that Posey is going to miss the rest of the year. He's going to have another operation. He's already had one in about 8 to 10 weeks to take 2 screws out of his ankle. So I think right now, Bob, they're just looking at opening day 2012. Pulled foul.
And probably hoping for the best that occurs. You mentioned another surgery to take the screws out. We're going to get one more look at the play of Scott Cousins. Just absolutely crushed Buster Posey at home plate. And no telling what the rehab will be like. You'd like to assume that it's going to go swimmingly. He's not going to have any setbacks or any other kinds of issues. But until you actually get in the gym and in that training room and start to rehabilitate that left leg, you're never quite sure how long it's going to take.
The operation today was to repair 3 torn ligaments in that ankle. This battle continues. Dempster and Overbay. You see on that right sleeve the number 7 in that gold star. That's in honor of their World Series winning manager, the late Chuck Tanner. Pirates will wear that patch all season long. It's the Stargell star with the number 7. Tanner's number inside. He passed away in February at age 82. Full count, 3-2. The We Are Family Pirates.
Led by Pops, Willie Stargell. Long at bat here for Lyle Overbay against Ryan Dempster, and it will continue at least for one more pitch. You know, a lot of times you look at a ball club, Len, and you try to figure out, geez, who's the leader of this team? Who's the spokesperson? Who's the guy to stand up when things are going tough and take the bull by the horns? Well, Willie Stargell was that guy. There was absolutely no doubt or question about who the leader of those Pirates teams happened to be.
Overbay takes a leadoff walk.
The 2011 Chicago Cubs on WGN are brought to you by Bud Light Lime. Just the right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
Chris Snyder homered yesterday. Thought Thought he was going to get the day off today and got about an inning and a half off. One of those 79 Pirates. They hit. Dave Parker hit .310 that year. Bill Madlock, the former Cub, .328. You mentioned Willie Stargell, 32 home runs.
Bill Robinson on that team?
Yes, he was. He hit 24. Phil Garner.
Omar Moreno, leadoff hitter.
Moreno stole 77 bases in 1979. Two and one on Snyder. They had three guys who were mainly relief pitchers win at least 10 games that year. Kent DeColvey, Jim Bibby, who did make 17 starts, and Enrique Romo, all won at least 10 games.
It seems like a strong offense goes hand in hand with relief pitchers getting wins for some reason. You may fall behind early in the game. Your starter gets knocked around a little bit, but your offense is capable of putting up big numbers.
1 to 4 to 3. Easy double play. Well, you love to get that ball hit right back to your pitcher on a 3-1 count.
Especially with the catcher running. You see Darwin Barney made sure to stomp on second base 2 times out there just to make sure they got the lead runner. Had plenty of time to throw on to get Snyder at first base.
Wood taps it foul, 0-1.
Yeah, that kind of swing on a 3-1 count will drive a hitting coach crazy. You work so hard in the at bat, you battle, you get yourself into a good hitter's count, and then a little half swing topper back to the mound.
A drive to deep center. Still going back is Tony Campana. He has it on the dirt, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 Cubs. Cubs 3, Pirates 2. Cubs batting in the 4th. Carlos Pena with a single and a run. Outside for ball one. We've just been told Ryan Domit's injury is to his left ankle. Nothing more specific at this point. At the knees to make it 1-1. Other AL action today. The Blue Jays had their offense going today. 18 hits, a season high, 13-4 over the White Sox. Their third win in a row to finish that series. Corey Patterson with another home run today. John Danks takes the loss. He's now here comes Karstens on a 1-2. Ground ball foul. Tampa Bay shut out Cleveland 7-0. With Detroit losing earlier, Indians right now the only team in that division over 500. They have a 6.5 game edge. Bangs off the shin guard of the catcher Snyder.
Not sure who the emergency catcher would be for the Pirates, just in case anything happened to Chris Snyder. I'm sure that Clint Hurdle doesn't even want to think about that.
Maybe Matt Diaz.
I think so.
Steve Pearce would be a guy you'd think about, but he's got a calf injury. Not our concern.
No, not at all.
Snyder hasn't had a lot of fun. First pitch when he came in, he was charged with a passed ball. He checked his swing on a 3-1, bounced into a 1-4-3 double play, and he just took that foul ball. There's another one. Still 1-2 to Pena. Thought he was going to be able to kick his feet up in the dugout and root on his teammates.
That's what you think. That one, even though that looks very innocuous, those hurt worse than getting hit in the face mask or the chest protector. That ball that is not centered in the pocket of your catcher's mitt, get you out near the fingertips or down near the palm, that'll really rattle. You know, people used to ask all the time, well, geez, doesn't it hurt your hand to catch a 95-mile-an-hour fastball? Well, no, not if you catch it right. Well, there's a very distinct pocket in that catcher's mitt right at the base of the webbing. If that ball hits in that area or up near the webbing, you don't even really feel it hit your glove. But boy, if it is miscentered and hits down near the palm, down near the heel of your hand, or up near the fingertips, you definitely feel those.
Swing and a miss for strike three. A new season, a new look. Join Vineline, the official magazine of the Chicago Cubs, in celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2011. Get the backstage pass to how the Cubs live and play on the field as well as off. Subscriptions start at just $29.95. For more info and to order, visit Cubs.com/Vineline. Soriano has flied to right. Ramos Ramirez leading off the second inning with his first home run since April 6th. On Friday, Soriano with his first homer since May 2nd. Hopefully a sign of things to come for these two power hitters. Cubs really need them to get hot. And Soriano has been swinging the bat well, even though he hasn't been hitting a lot of home runs this month. Back-to-back Ks for Karstens to start this inning.
He may have gotten a strike out of Alfonso Soriano, but once again he missed his spot by a mile. Snyder wanted that pitch up and away. It ends up down over the heart of the plate. If the Cubs can take advantage of some of these mistakes that Karstens has been making, they should be able to put some crooked numbers on that scoreboard. He is just not fine with his command at all today.
Campana feathers a bunt down the third base line, foul.
I haven't seen enough of Tony Campana to know if he has that slap bunt in his arsenal. Most teams already playing their third baseman way in. Pitchers aware that Tony's a guy that will bunt. They charge in from the pitcher's mound. Work on that little bunt where you show bunting and just try to slap the ball toward the shortstop.
Anything slowly hit, he's going to beat out. There's no doubt. 3-2 after 4. Fifth inning. 8-9-1 for the visitors. Ronnie Cedeno takes ball one. 5 for 13 lifetime against his former teammate Ryan Dempster. He had the big blow yesterday, a 3-run homer off Randy Wells.
We know from past experience Ronnie Cedeno is a guy that will push a bunt to that first base side, especially when he finds himself leading off an inning like he is here in the fifth.
It's like this one's going to stay in the field of play as Pena hauls it in foul ground.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how'd you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules.
Just looking at some of the numbers, one thing that has to change, the Cubs have to be better within their own division. And while the Pirates are 0-5 against Milwaukee, they are 13-4 against everybody else. That gives him a 13-9 record versus the Central. Cincinnati's 20-12, Milwaukee 12-11, St. Louis 11-9. They've all piled up wins against the Cubs and the Astros, who have combined to go 15-30 against the rest of this division. The Cubs are 6-13. That has to change.
Absolutely. Those are big swing games within your division. You beat a division opponent, you gain an immediate game on them. Obviously, that's the idea, to creep up that leaderboard.
Randy Wells had one bad inning yesterday, the fourth. A lot of his pitches were up. He gave up 5 runs in those 4 innings. 3-2 to Karstens. Hopefully just getting some of that rust off after an almost 8-week layoff. Karstens bounces. That backs up Pena. He will underhand to Dempster. 2 away.
You know, and the reality of the Randy Wells situation, I think under other circumstances, he probably would have had another rehab start at the minor league level, maybe even a couple. He had one for Peoria, one for Iowa, and neither one of them went particularly well. Under different circumstances, if you felt your rotation was in good hands, maybe you leave him down there for one more rehabilitation start. But because of the dire need the Cubs had in that 4 or 5 spot in the rotation, Randy took the ball yesterday, gave it the old college try, but just didn't appear to be as sharp as we've seen him in the past.
Tabata has grounded out twice, and he hits a line drive past the glove hand of Dempster. That'll give Garrett Jones an opportunity. The final now from Denver, 4-3. The Cardinals held on and beat the Rockies. Kyle Loesch got his 7th win. He beat Yolis Chacin. Dempster really had to work in that first inning. He's been pretty efficient since. See Coy Hill glancing into the home dugout before flashing the sign. 2-0.
And we'll explain once again that Coy Hill is not looking for a sign to give to Ryan Dempster. He's looking to see whether Mike Quade wants to possibly have a pickoff attempt at first base. If you think that Tabata might be running, you maybe call a pitch out. But Coy Hill and his pitcher Ryan Dempster have gone over this Pirates lineup. They have a real good idea of how they want to attack them. So the pitches are strictly from Coy Hill to Ryan Dempster. The other signs for pickoffs, step off the rubber, or pitch outs come from the bench.
Missed again, 3-0. McCutchen has walked and singled. And he is looming on deck. We'll give him extra points for actually being in the on-deck circle. Runner goes on the 3-0. Pitches a strike. They got him on the tag. How about that? He ran on a 3-0. Clint Hurdle's going to come out and argue another play at second base. The inning is over. Still 3-2 Cubs. 3-0, and it looked like the Cubs did get him. But twice in this series, Clint Hurdle has come out to argue a very similar play, and both times the umpire got the call right. Coy Hill with a sacrifice fly to tie the game in the second inning. Do you like the 3-0 steal attempt?
I don't like it all the time, but I think if you pay close attention to a team on a 3-0 pitch, many times you'll see the defense rock back on their heels because they assume the batter's going to be taking the pitch. I think against certain teams, if you pick your spots, that 3-0 steal is almost a guaranteed stolen base at second. That's off to Coy Hill and Starlin Castro for being Johnny on the spot and getting that out at second base.
Fourth strikeout for Jeff Karstens.
And we talked about it in the play that Clint Hurdle argued the other day. This is a tough call for a second base umpire. Corey Blazer in good position. However, the throw is up the line. The tag is applied to the back of the runner, and you have to make a determination whether that front foot came down on the bag or whether the tag came down on the runner first. And that time, Corey Blazer got it absolutely right. Good tag right in the middle of the back by Starlin Castro as Tabata slid past.
Blazer is at second. Fielded Culbreth, originally listed at second, is at first. 0-2 to Dempster. Fights it off and hits it foul back of first. There'll be some Sunday afternoons with a 2.5-hour rain delay when a lot of the fans would have moved on to their next destination as Dempster singles into left. But with Memorial Day tomorrow, I think everybody's got a little extra time. This ballpark has filled up nicely after that long rain delay.
What would you do with an extra $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life? Play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. You keep living, we keep giving. $1,000 a week for life. The longer you live, the more you get.
Dempster aboard with a 1-out single as Fukudome hits it foul. Happy birthday wishes go out to Susie Hochberger, huge Cubs fan. Down the right field line. Foul.
Also, happy birthday wishes to a gentleman I met in Cedar Rapids, Iowa a couple of years ago. Big Cubs fan Mike Martinez celebrating a birthday today. Let's just say he's older than he was 2 years ago when I met him.
About 2 years older. Walker ranging to his left. They'll get Dempster. No relay throw by Cedeno. Two outs, it brings up Darwin Barney. 1-for-1 with a sac bunt. Angels beat the Twins 6-5 at Target Field. Dan Herron over Carl Pavano in that one. How it yesterday. Talked about it on the pregame show. Minnesota won 1-0 on a Danny Valencia bases loaded RBI single in the 10th. Francisco Liriano was a late scratch with a sore shoulder, so Anthony Swarzak, an emergency starter, filled in, took a no-no into the 8th.
Well, and you see that happen quite often when a guy is forced into a starting role when he wasn't expecting to pitch. That late call, hey, go warm up. We need you to start today. And no preconceived notions, no excessive thoughts. You just go out there and do your thing. You just pitch.
Starting action today, the 4 teams making up the American League West were all within a game and a half of one another. So even though Oakland was in last, they were just 1.5 out behind Texas. It's a pretty tight division. Fukudome fake towards second. Now he's caught up. Throw's going to go to first. Not a good throw. There was a hesitation by Snyder. That allowed Kosuke to get back in time.
Since coming into this ball game, Chris Snyder is catching like he's using a brand new mitt. Another one clanks off the heel of the glove this time. Fortunately for him, it looked like it hit the umpire. Dropped straight down at home plate, and Fukudome's out in the middle of nowhere. The errant throw back to first base gives Kosuke enough room to slide back in on his belly ahead of the tag. Snyder just got totally handcuffed by that last pitch.
Time called as Karstens just held on to the ball. Just feathered out into right center by Darwin Barney.
It's like a little bit like a left-handed tennis player hitting a two-handed backhand. Just flipped it out there into shallow right center field for a base hit. Hit them where they ain't. Wee Willie Keeler.
Two on with 2 down. Castro bounces. Brandon Wood picks it up, steps on third to Forrest Kosuke, and that ends the inning. They strand a pair. Off to the 6th, 3-2 Cubs.
Baseball League of the game, and today we want to recognize Rogers Auto Group for their support of McWayne Bridgeport Baseball League. Rogers Auto Group and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are supporting leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball.
Ryan Dempster's held the Pirates to just 3 hits through 5. See, his pants are a little dirty after that slide into second base when he was forced in the bottom of the 5th. Really didn't have a lot of time to change those trousers in between innings. 0-2 to Garrett Jones is high. 1-2. West leading Rangers with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. To beat Kansas City 7-6, Elvis Andrus with a game-ending RBI single. Rangers 7, Royals 6. 2-2 to Jones. .89 degrees in Arlington today. Straight fastball is outside. 3-2.
And you talk about Dempster having the mud on his pants there from the slide into second base. I think most pitchers like that. Means they got on base at least once.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Hey fans, visit the newly renovated Captain Morgan Club here at Wrigley Field with more than 30 flat screens, an expanded menu, and an outdoor patio atmosphere, making your place to catch all home and away games. The Captain Morgan Club, your neighborhood pet-friendly headquarters and destination place. McCutcheon pops it up behind first. Darwin Barney backpedaling, 2 hands on it, 2 outs.
You know, Len, I know you remember a ball player by the name of Casey Candell. Some fans may remember Casey. Played for a few teams in his major league career. The stage I'm recalling right now, he was kind of a bench player. He got to start once or twice a week, maybe here or there. And when he was sitting on the bench, he looked like he had played 9 innings already. He would come out before the ball game and slide in front of the dugout in the dirt, maybe do a head first slide, and his uniform would be covered with dirt whether he was in the lineup or not. He just felt more comfortable playing with a dirty uniform. And when he was in the lineup, he was a pig pen.
9 seasons in the big leagues: Montreal, Houston, Cleveland for Casey Candell. Bill wants his pitch down. Good location. Little bit off the corner. 1-2. Still 1-2. Matchup tonight in Atlanta: Johnny Cueto and Jair Jurgens. Cueto with a 2.19 ERA. Jurgens 1.56 off the end of the bat. Still 1-2. The way things go usually with a matchup like that you build up. National TV, Sunday Night Baseball, probably be 10-8. Excellent effort by Barney, just couldn't get it. And Neil Walker with a 15-game hitting streak against the Cubs in his career. He's hit in all 15.
Nice try by Darwin Barney. About 6 steps and a dive, just could not get there. Tell you, that last pitch that Walker got the base hit on was the only pitch in the strike zone that at bat from Ryan Dempster. Walker was able to stay alive, chasing a slider off the plate inside, fouling it off, chasing a sinker off the plate away, got a piece of that to stay alive. When he finally did get one in the zone, he fisted that ball out into center field for a base hit. You see the pitch tracks, pitches scattered all around inside and outside. Finally, the 7th pitch of the at bat on the inside corner. Walker able to get a base hit.
A reminder, we will be in the Bud Light bleachers tomorrow with our annual bleacher broadcast. We hope you can join us. There are still tickets available in the bleachers. If you can't make it out, we're right here on WGN Sports at 1 o'clock. Right-hander Kerry Wood up in the Cubs bullpen. Dempster over 100 pitches on the day. Top guys in the back of the bullpen, Wood, Marshall, and Marmol, all ready to go today. And Mike Quade will not be shy about using them. Dempster with a sign from Hill, and he'll toss to first. Going into action today, and it might go up. But Ryan Dempster averaging 17 pitches per inning. That's slightly above his career mark, and it would be the highest since he was at 17.9 per inning back in 2006. And that's when he was in his second year as a Cubs closer. Swing and a miss, 2-2. And
we're starting to see some of those telltale nonverbal signs from Ryan Dempster out there on the mound, taking a deep breath, walking off the back of the mound, taking his time to get back up on the rubber before delivering the next pitch. If Mike Quade asks Ryan Dempster how you feel, and he's going to say, I feel fine.
Foul tip, strike 3. 2 Ks in the inning. Dempster through 6 has allowed just 2 runs and has a 1-run lead. Kings schedule brought to you by Lincoln. The Astros come to town tomorrow for our annual bleacher broadcast from that area, just to the left of center field. Tuesday night, and then Wednesday afternoon, we're back here on WGN Sports. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. Veterans Dempster and Hill, the battery today, chatting about things. Cubs leading 3-2 as they bat in the 6th against a new pitcher, right-hander Chris Risai.
See his numbers on the season, pitching in his 22nd ball game. Good opponent's batting average of .231. Basically a two-pitch guy, fastball and a curveball, and occasional straight changeup.
Jeff Karsten's left trailing 3-2, but I think he might feel fortunate when he thinks about his line. As you talked about, he struggled with his location today and was fortunate to just give up the 3. 2 were earned as McCutchen retires Ramirez. And the Pirates continue to get pretty solid starting pitching. Over their previous 9 games, the starters had a 1.43 ERA going into action today. With Carlos Pena ready to dig in, Kerry Wood still throwing and throwing hard in the Cubs bullpen, which may indicate Dempster is done for the day after 6 innings.
It's been a workmanlike effort for Ryan Dempster today. You can see his ERA by inning this season. It's not unusual for any pitcher to see his ERA go up in those 3-inning increments. Because Dempster has worked so hard today, and we've seen him use his secondary pitches a lot today. A lot of sliders, a lot of splitters, which would indicate that either he's having an issue with that sinker or just doesn't feel confident with his bread and butter pitch today.
Risop has been with Florida, the Angels, Atlanta, and now the Pirates. This is his 102nd career appearance. They've all been in relief. 2-1 to Pena. He'll strike out guys, but he'll pile up the walks too. 60 walks in 105 career innings. Breaking ball missed outside. 3-1. Now they overshift. Cedeno comes to the first base side of second. Wood backs up to the shortstop position, and Neil Walker way out into right. Pena probably asked Lance Barksdale if that pitch was in the strike zone. Popped him up, Tabata. Circling out in left, and he makes a grab.
Follow the Chicago Cubs with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text it BAT to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
You know, I'm not surprised Carlos Pena would be the kind of batter who would ask a home plate umpire whether a pitch was a strike or not, since he has a very keen eye of at least his own strike zone. In your playing experience, would most umpires give the batter an honest answer?
Yeah, most of the time the umpire would be willing to say, and some batters would even say, was that pitch a ball inside the corner? I mean, they want to get very specific as to where the pitch was in the strike zone. Not only is it a strike or is it a ball, but yeah, most umpires are really good about it. They just let you know, yeah, that was there. I had it right on the corner, or I had it inside the corner.
Soriano's going to fly out to McCutchen as Resop works a 1-2-3 uneventful sixth. 3-2 Cubs as we head off to the seventh. Looks like Kerry Wood's coming in.
By slow hand, Eric Clapton. That's our Bud fan cam. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Chris Snyder, who's had a rough day since coming in for the injured Ryan Domit, leading off the seventh with a base hit off Kerry Wood. Tight game, 3-2. The Cubs with the lead here in the seventh. Kerry Wood versus Brandon Wood. I don't believe there's any relation. There's a pitch. Wood showing bunt. Pulled it back. Took ball one. Dempster 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. He walked 3, struck out 5. 64 strikes and 105 pitches total. Bunted foul.
And then you were talking about it earlier in the ballgame. Ronnie Cedeno trying to get an edge, get up there as close as he can to home plate, at least get an angle where he can see Kerry Wood's delivery to home plate, see what kind of movement he has, maybe even pick up a release point before you get in the batter's box.
Popped up. Coy Hill with a catch. Another great effort by Brandon Wood, who as an American League player, laid down 8 sack bunts, which is not surprising last year because he was with Mike Scioscia's Angels, but unable to get it down here in the 7th.
Oh, a nice catch by Coy Hill. That ball wasn't popped very high in the air. You got the shin guards clanking together, got the mask on, that glove that's not made for catching pop-ups, and boy, able to grab it right over in front of the on-deck circle on the first base side.
Cedeno batting, and Xavier Paul is now on deck, left-handed batter. He would pinch hit for Risa. Paul, the former Dodger. It's 2-0 on Cedeno. Evan Meek tossing in the Pirates bullpen. High fly to center. And Campana with the grab. Saw Paul play right field in the 9th on Friday afternoon. Pirates got him on waivers about a month ago from the Dodgers.
Paul hitting .231 as a member of the Pirates, .240 overall if you include his Dodger numbers. 0 for 8 as a pinch hitter for the Buccos, 0 for 11 on the season off the bench. We had a little fun with Chris Snyder throughout this series. The fact that he has yet to steal a base in his major league career. If he were so inclined, I think this would be the time to do it. Woody's not paying any attention to him over there at first base. He's getting his sign from Coy Hill, going into his set position, delivering the ball onto home plate.
Three and 0. And really, why would you pay attention to Snyder? Because he's not a guy you should have to worry about in that department.
I mean, even a guy like Snyder who never runs, the idea is at least make him stop. Don't allow him to get a walking lead, and you can see Snyder's not even trying to get a walking lead. If it goes to 3-2, I think they're going to send him.
That's a pretty good bet. It does not. And here's another spot, Bob, where if Snyder had started the game, his manager might consider pinch running for him. But with Ryan Doman already out of the game, you can't do that. So that could benefit the Cubs here.
Woody working the left-handed, hitting Xavier Paul very carefully there. Not one of those pitches really in the strike zone. A couple right on the border. Paul takes the walk, heads on down to first base, pushing that tying run up into scoring position at second in the form of Chris Snyder. And I think we had our answer to who the emergency catcher is. Matt Diaz was warming up pitchers in the Pirates bullpen a little while ago.
You like to carry 3 catchers, didn't you?
I really liked it as a weapon. I can vividly remember pinch hitting for our starting catcher in the 5th inning of a ball game one time, because the opposing manager never expects that you're going to pinch hit for that catcher spot. We had guys available off the bench and dropped a bomb on him in the 5th inning, knowing that we had 2 catchers left to finish the rest of the game with.
We're trying to finish off this Pirates rally here in the 7th with no damage as Tabata stays alive. Keith Moreland from the Cubs radio team will lead the singing of the 7th inning stretch. There it is.
Oh,
how did that not hit him? 1-2.
Curveball right over the head of Jose Tabata. Just never took the break. Woody tries to overthrow it, leaves it up and in, and like Starlin Castro the other day, look at the bat. Tabata realizes if he leaves that bat up there behind his back, there's a chance the ball will hit it, so he dropped the bat as quickly as possible.
It was a good catch as well by Coy Hill.
As a catcher, you lose sight of this ball. At some point, you just put your glove up there where you think it's going to be and hope that the ball hits in the glove. Coy was expecting that ball to perhaps hit the bat and ricochet back toward him.
Another 1-2. And on the appeal, Field and Culbreth said he held 2-2.
That one's close. Very close.
Full count, giving the runners a head start. If Tabata reaches, you've got Sean Marshall available in the pen with Garrett Jones in the on-deck circle, although we mentioned Matt Diaz, a possible weapon off the bench for Clint Hurdle. First things first, the 3-2 pitch fouled away. All those things are going through these managers' minds as we speak. Well, a lot of times there's the choice for Mike Quaddy, isn't it, Bob? Is it, okay, Wood versus Jones or Marshall versus Diaz?
Well, which matchup do you like better? Sometimes based on history, what guys have done against each other in the past. Sometimes based on who's throwing better right now. Sometimes which hitter is swinging better right now. Which guy would I rather have up there at the plate? Certainly the bench players that are available enter into the equation as well.
Wood and Hill get on the same page for this big pitch coming up. Here it comes. High fly to center. Campana underneath. Inning over. Keith Moreland with our 7th inning stretch.
To the ball game, former Cub and current WGN radio broadcaster Keith Moreland.
Let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
remains in the game in left. And hard throwing right-hander Evan Meek is on to pitch. So Talbot is out. Pitcher spot now the #1 spot. Meek recently came off the DL, missed a little less than a month due to right shoulder tendonitis as Campana sprays it foul. 3-2 Cubs in the 7th. Four rehab outings at AAA for Meek. Corner man in against the speedy Campana. Outside third for a strike. Meek with a loss in that season opening series against the Cubs. See Blake DeWitt after Coy Hill. 1-2 swing and a miss. He got him. Graduation days at Wrigley Field are back on Wednesday, June 1st and Monday, June 13th. Graduates in attendance can participate in a pregame. I wish I could read this. Parade. There you go. And we'll receive a certificate commemorating this spectacular event. Perfect for the graduate in your life. For more info and to order tickets, visit Cubs.com/graduation. Enter the coupon code GRADUATE. Take advantage of this special offer.
Yeah, you get a little rain on those promo reads, and you know, the letters kind of bleed together.
Yeah.
I understand your difficulty there.
Could just make it up. But we try not to. A good chance you'll see Giovanni Soto in the lineup tomorrow. He was activated off the DL before the game today. Houston comes in having been swept at 19-34. And some changes in their starting rotation, with Wandy Rodriguez going on the disabled list. He's got an elbow injury. Onuri Rodriguez will get the start tomorrow. Their top prospect is a right-hander named Jordan Lyles. He's only 20 years old. He'll make his major league debut Tuesday night. And Brett Myers, who has one win this season, that victory coming against the Cubs in Houston in April, will start Wednesday. The Cubs will go with Rodrigo Lopez in his Cubs debut tomorrow. Carlos Zambrano Tuesday night. Doug Davis still looking for his first win as a Cub on Wednesday. That's deposited into center. Scattering the birds. Coy Hill with a one-out hit.
Good battling at bat that time by Coy Hill. Meek kept throwing him that slider down low in the zone. He laid off a couple of times. Finally, Meek got one up in the zone where Coy could get the bat on it. He promptly lined it into center field for a knock.
DeWitt will hit for Wood. Sean Marshall will get the 8th inning. Double play ball. The tag, the toss, 4-3 inning over. Cubs leading by 1 as we go to the 8th. Game summary. Visit your local Honda dealer today to test drive the 2011 Honda Cross Tour, available with four-wheel drive. Neil Walker and Andrew McCutchen have been so good against the Cubs in their careers, both with first-inning walks and runs. But Aramis Ramirez with his first homer since April 6th and 2 sac flies. Hill to tie it, Castro to give the Cubs the lead. And it's 3-2 as we start the 8th. Left-hander Sean Marshall against a guy we thought we might see, as Lou Montañez spells Alfonso Soriano in left for defense. Matt Diaz will hit for Garrett Jones.
And like we were talking about an inning ago, Mike Quaddy has to weigh the positives and negatives of every move you make. Well, Matt Diaz against left-hander Sean Marshall, 1 for 10 lifetime, 1 single.
A single, so
to
speak. Yeah. Sharply hit ground ball, but it's picked up by Darwin Barton. And he gets him.
And you look ahead a little further to Andrew McCutchen, the hitter making his way to the plate now. He's 0 for 3 against Sean Marshall, has grounded into a double play and struck out. And then Neil Walker, a switch hitter, only 1 at bat against Sean Marshall previously, and he struck out. You know, it can be a lot to digest as a manager, you know, like we were talking about. If I do this, then the other manager's going to do that. And do I like that matchup better than this matchup? But you'd much rather do that as a manager than just call down to the bullpen and say, who's healthy enough to give me an inning?
Right. Hit hard, but at Fukudome. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Walker batting right-handed in this trip to the plate. Mentioned Texas beat Kansas City today 7-6 in Arlington. How about this note? Royals catcher Brian Pena this year has hit 3 home runs. Okay.
Okay.
They've all been 3-run homers. They've all been hit at Texas. Things that make you go, Sean Marshall with a quick 1-2-3-8. Still 3-2 Cubs. Pinch hitting. And here's righty Daniel McCutchen, who has the lowest ERA among all relievers in the NL. 1 earned run in over 21 innings. Walks plus hits per innings pitched is under 1. Good to see that guy getting loose with his team leading in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, instead of just coming in for an inning of work, hopefully coming in to save the day for the Cubs. The Daniel McCutchen fastball splitter slider has a real good split fingered fastball that he goes to in 2-strike situations and when he's looking for a ground ball.
Kosuke rolls it into right.
Second baseman,
Darwin Barney, 2 hits and a sac bunt. The Dodgers shut out the Marlins today 8-0. Clayton Kershaw with a complete game 2-hit shutout, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk as he beat Ricky Nolasco. Rafael Furcal with his first homer of the season, bunted foul. Yankees salvage a finale in Seattle. CC Sabathia over Jason Vargas.
Let's see a throw to first right here, Len. On a bunt attempt on the first pitch, there's always some question in your mind as an opposing manager. Will they change to the hit and run? You know Darwin Barney handles the bat extremely well, and sometimes you snap that throw over to first base, the batter will tip off what he's going to do at the plate. So Clint Hurdle Called for the throw over to first base just to see if Darwin Barney would tip his hand.
Oakland beat Baltimore 6-4 in Oakland. Felix P.A., former Cub, led off, went 1 for 4 for the Orioles. There's the bunt. Throw goes to second. Out. No sacrifice. It's a fielder's choice for Barney. Goes 3-6 to force Fukudome.
Good aggressive play by Lyle Overbay, the first baseman. Fields that bunt on the second hop. No hesitation whatsoever. And a nice stretch by Ronnie Cedeno. Just in time to get the force at second base.
Through 38 games and 72 plate appearances this year, Felix P.A. has a grand total of 0 walks.
You suppose they're just throwing him all strikes?
No.
No.
Runner goes. Here's a throw to second. Got him. Boy, Chris Snyder nails Darwin Barney.
Boy, a lightning quick release by Snyder behind home plate, and what a great tag at second base by Neil Walker. Pretty good jump by Darwin Barney, but Snyder puts that throw right in front of the bag. Walker with no wasted motion whatsoever. Catch and tag all in one motion, just in time to get Darwin Barney at second.
And Castro lifts into shallow center. It's Walker calling, but McCutchen, the center fielder, that's his play, and he does take it. Okay, off to the ninth. Here comes Marmol. Lyle Overbay will lead it off. Here's a closer, Carlos Marmol.
Second ball game for Carlos Marmol this year. Opponent's batting average a ridiculous 162. 29 punch outs in 22 innings pitched.
Since May 3rd, this is his second save opportunity. Good start. Strike to Overbay. Over his last 19 outings, he's allowed 10 hits and 1 earned run. Every appearance since April 20th when he gave up a run against the Padres. His ERA has gone down. It was at 2.79. Now it's at 1.23. 2-1. High fly center field, deep but playable for Campana. A step in front of the warning track.
Now, I'll tell you what, Len, considering the success that Carlos Marmol has had in his time as the closer of the Cubs, how he has dominated opposing hitters, at times made them look silly. The guy making his way to the plate actually has done a pretty nice job against Carlos Marmol. Chris Snyder doesn't sound like much, 2 for 8 lifetime with a home run, but you look at the other numbers around the National League, nobody else has had that kind of success.
And it makes you a little nervous because he's had a bizarre day. He shouldn't even be in the game. Had a tough start, but then later picked up a base hit and then threw out Darwin Barney at second base. Brandon Wood on deck. Here's the 1-1. It's downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Slider is outside, 3-1. The last time Snyder had a 3-1 count, he took a half a swing and bounced into a 1-4-3 double play. Slider strike, late call. Lance Barksdale, 3-2. Snyder took it. Not an easy one to take. And draws the walk. Well, that one looked, we talk about giving the illusion of a strike. That one did. And he still didn't offer at it.
Unlike most right-handed hitters that Carlos Marmol faces, it looked like Snyder was getting a pretty good look at that ball right out of the hand of Carlos Marmol. He didn't offer at that borderline slider. Laid off some sliders earlier in the sequence.
It's low, and Carlos Pena will grab the rosin bag and just try to pump up his pitcher, try to get him to relax a little bit. Slider in there, 2-1.
That's about as center cut of pitch as you'll ever see. 2-0, however, with the slider. I don't know any hitter in the major leagues that goes to the plate looking for a 2-0 slider.
Tap past Marmol. Castro with a barehanded pick and throw to get Wood. 2 down. Now Snyder in scoring position, probably the slowest runner on the Pirates. So there's no guarantee if Cedeno can get a hit that Snyder can score that tying run.
Boy, what a great play here by Starlin Castro. Grabbing that ball barehanded, throwing all in one motion. It's the only thing he could do on that play, and gets it across there in time to get Wood by a step and a half at first base.
Here's Ronnie Cedeno. Fans on their feet. 37,464, and most of them hanging around through the long rain delay. 0-1. Nothing in 2. Marmol should be able to, quote, waste a couple pitches here and see if he can get Cedeno to fish.
Well, Ronnie's been known to do that.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win. They salvage a finale of this series. They come back in the early innings with 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And no runs after that by either team. The final today, the Cubs 3, the Pirates 2.